Hello, good evening, and welcome to another edition of Bank of Industry Impact. I am Hadiza Olaosebikan. On tonight's program, we shall be highlighting ongoing efforts at deepening the Bank of Industry's collaboration with its current development partners, including the bank's customers, who constitute a vital segment of its stakeholders, as well as fresh initiatives at cultivating new relationships with agencies that are strongly committed to the rapid industrialization of Nigeria. In the first part of the program, we shall bring you the recent visit undertaken by BOI's management team led by its Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Rashid Adejare Olaoluwa to Enugu. While in the coal city, they called at the Project Research Institute, also known as PRODA, and inspected two of BOI's leading assisted ventures. The PRODA visit is part of concerted effort at working with research institute and development agencies whose mandate would facilitate Nigeria's emergence of a substantially technological self-reliant nation, especially in the local production of equipment and machinery to support the country's micro, small and medium-scale enterprises that engage in the processing of Nigeria's vast agricultural produce and solid minerals. Please recall that recently we brought you a similar visit by the bank's management team to the Federal Institute of Industrial Research, Oshodi Firo, in Lagos. Here are highlights of BOI's visit to PRODA in Enugu. Happy viewing. The Project Research Institute in Enugu was established in 1971 by the defunct East Central State Government. It was, however, taken over by the federal government in 1977 to avoid the balkanization of the institute following the splitting of East Central State into Anambra and Imo states in 1976. PRODA, which is one of the oldest research institutes in Nigeria, was established to facilitate the development and deployment of science and technology apparatus to enhance the pace of socio-economic development of the country through appropriate technological inputs into productive activities. It is charged with the broad function of generating and catalyzing industrialization by carrying out industrial research from the laboratory stage to the pilot plant stage, and by rendering consultancy services to governments, industry and individuals. The consistency of PRODA's mandate with BOI's agenda of transforming Nigeria's industrial sector prompted the bank's visit to the institute, during which PRODA's acting Director General and CEO, Engineer Charles Agulanam, highlighted some of the efforts the institute has made in producing equipment and machinery for processing of Nigeria's vast agricultural produce and solid minerals.
We have been involved actually in helping industries, especially we have what they call the world-based cluster programs, and it is intended actually to take to the grassroots some of the developments we have in respect of R&D products. We were able to make some efforts in pencil production. Pencil production, when you hear about pencil production, a lot of people think it's a very simple thing because of the cost of pencils. But there's nowhere in Africa that pencils are produced. We import all pencils, either from China, from Europe, from Taiwan, or all those places. That's where most of the pencils used in this country, and in fact, the whole of Africa depends on importation. And what are the major raw materials for pencil production? You have the graphite, which is in commercial quantity in various states of the country. You have the clay is available, and of course the wood, the wood that will support the package, the pencil lead. So we were able to use our local materials to produce. Those pencils are handmade here. So we actually have a number of equipment that could mechanize this production.
Engineer Agulanam assured BOI's MD of the institute's readiness to partner with the bank.
In the area of machine fabrication, this institute does not have fears. If it is custom made or a production of what we already have. So we accept. So it's not a matter of that we like the challenge because we have research personnel, that engineers that can work on particular challenges and get some results. We can really fill a gap. We can really fill a gap. There's a gap because most of the time, most of the problems of the research institute is to transfer their technologies to the public. And if we have a window where we could do that at a reasonable, mutually related collaboration, it's as good as our dreams coming true. Thank you very much, sir.
In his response, the MD of BOI, Mr. Rashid Olaoluwa, commended the institute and explained why the bank is desirous of working with PRODA.
When this management team was inaugurated recently, one of the things we highlighted as a key strategic imperative for us is to bring to play the linkage between innovation, technology, and industry. Because we realized that over the years, Nigeria has established a number of research institutes, which are important innovation centers. These institutes have come up with a number of ideas, a number of technologies, but it appears that the industry was not linking up to those innovations to be able to adopt them. And exactly what you said, sir, when you said that sometimes you have the technologies that's patented, but you don't have people that will come and adopt them. But I'm very glad that you mentioned the fact that your theme is industrialization through self-reliance. Yes. And I'm pleased that you actually have a lot of technologies. For instance, you mentioned the pencil production, the cassava peeler, the palm kernel cracker, the palm kernel oil extractor. These are, important technologies for, especially the last three, for our agro-processing segment.
He then suggested a roadmap for the partnership.
For me, the technology is already there. The challenge is, how do we promote the technologies? How do we bring it to market? How do we link the technologies to the people who actually use it to commercialize it? The other issue that you mentioned, which I found interesting, is the fact that you have people here who have the fabrication skills. Because that is something that in Nigeria we need to improve upon. Yeah. And since you already have that core competence, we need to find a way to leverage on that. Recently, we were having a discussion with Furo, and apparently they have some kind of alliance with fabricators. Okay, small scale fabricators, and we're trying to work together to see how we can actually bring expertise from abroad, that will come to Nigeria and help to refine the fabrication skills of the domestic fabricators. So we probably need to explore the possibility of bringing PRODA also on board that scheme. The whole idea is we want to spread the skills. We want the skills to be available in as many locations as possible, so that when we fabricate equipment, the equipment look like, you wouldn't realize that they are made in Nigeria. And then lastly, I would just like to mention to you that recently we launched a product that's at the Bank of Industry. We call it the Cottage Agro Processing Fund.
Okay, Cottage
Agro Processing CAP Fund, CAP. It's a 5 billion naira fund. It covers a lot of the products that you've highlighted. palm oil, cassava, rice, tomato, shea butter, etc. So a lot of products. And for every state of Nigeria, we've identified 3 products, that are priority products for that particular state.
Okay.
All the 36 states are covered, including FCT, and I believe that we would need to begin to include PRODA as people who can supply entrepreneurs with the relevant technology to be able to take advantage of this CAP fund.
Thereafter, the BOI team was conducted around PRODA's facilities. At the end of the tour, the 2 emerging development partners gave their impressions of the visit.
We are quite excited by this visit because this visit is a window to the Institute to be able to start to impact positively on the economy of the country. And we do have a lot of research products on our shelves, but we think with this coming, we'll be well guided in trying to disseminate some of the technologies we have here and some of the R&D products. Honestly, at the time we were really given a brief on the possibilities of assessing funds or helping people who are involved in cottage or other industrial setups to obtain funds for their industries. We're happy because we are sure we can give legs to some of the proposals we already have on ground. Our machines will make them possible for entrepreneurs who are interested to get into business to assess them and also possibly access funds to support their industrial endeavors. We've not had this kind of support, and that's why I said we are excited that something like this is happening now. I think the government seems to be doing what is right now, because with this window, like I said, I think we can start to reach out much more than we did in the past. To reach the business people, the public, the entrepreneurs who are interested in this product.
We were at FIRO actually 2 times in the last 3 months, and we're also here today at the Project Development Institute, PRODA in Enugu. So you can see strategy in action. It's a deliberate strategic step we're taking to ensure that there is a very good practical linkage between the centers of innovation and in industry. So to my greatest surprise, I discovered this afternoon that PRODA, just like FIRO, has also developed a number of technologies over the years. And in addition to discussing in theory, we actually went to the workshop and we looked at some of those technologies. And we actually saw people coming here to take those technologies and setting up businesses in so many parts of Nigeria. Some of these technologies include the cassava, the processing equipment, the corn flour equipment, the palm kernel cracker, palm kernel oil extractor, etc. In addition to the agro-processing, they're also into other technologies. So for instance, they can make pencils, and this is actually the only country if we actually can commercialize that technology, it will make us the only country in Africa that produces pencil. And with a huge population, 170 million people, a lot can happen. So one of the things that we discussed today is how can we promote these technologies? How can we ensure that the technologies are adopted faster and wider, than they are currently? We also discussed about the BOI's Cottage Agro-Processing Fund, which we launched recently. PRODA is also going to be one of the equipment suppliers to ensure that people who want to process Nigeria's vast agricultural produce can come to PRODA and also adopt the technologies to ensure that those products are processed, to final food products or to intermediate raw materials for industry. So we are really excited. This is a journey. We've been to Firo. We are now at PRODA. I think you should watch out for more.
With the research already conducted in key areas where the nation has comparative and competitive advantage, BOI and PRODA have agreed to evolve possible joint intervention strategies that will facilitate the processing of Nigeria's agricultural produce and solid minerals. Welcome back. You would agree with me that the partnership between BOI and PRODA is surely another right step in the right direction that holds bright promises for the development of MSMEs in the country. We shall keep you posted on the implementation of their lofty plans. Next, the BOI team inspected two of its assisted projects, Tara Agro Processing and Innocent Technical Industries Limited. At Tara Agro Rice Processing Factory, its promoter and Nigeria's former Minister of Industry, Engineer Charles Ugu, showed the BOI team led by the Managing Director round the rice plantation farm in Ada before conducting them round the processing factory.
At the right time, when the paddy begins to open, you now discharge the water, and the paddy is now dropped into these conveyors. So each of the gangway of soaking tankers now drop their paddy in here, wet paddy. And the paddy is now lifted up into the
Through
cooler.
that escalator.
Yes, through this here, through elevator. Okay. One batch for this and the other one. So the paddy is now lifted up right to the top. On the top of this vessel, you have the paddy dropping.
Okay.
And from the bottom, your steam is coming.
Okay.
So that contact within 2 minutes cooks the rice. And that's where the skill comes in to adjust volume of volume of steam,
the type of rice,
time, type of rice, and all that. This is where you play the master game. So all of the rice you bring from there, you now put in your golden time. This is a control room. So you can see all your systems from your feeding position into the soaking tanks. These are your soaking tanks. And your boiler, your control to make sure you are cooking. This is where you have the vibrating cleaners. And you bring it in your storage that I showed you. From there now, you come into your soaking tank and you do your soaking tank for over 6 to 8 hours, depending on the type of paddy. Then you do the cooking. Then you go through your fluidized bed, and then you go to your secondary dryers. In all of that, the source of heat is husk. So there's some advantage in this.
This is the first cleaner. It's like the first machine surgeon, vibrating cleaner, removing the chaff, the immature, the dust. Then after this, we have to measure the quantity we are milling. Maybe 5 tons per hour. You have to key in the machine.
Can I take you back a minute? What's the process for removing the chaff?
It's vibrating.
Okay, it's vibration.
Yes, it's separation.
And what?
We've not seen any stone in our ranks. This is
So
the
the
cleaner.
stones don't get removed from that process?
No, the heavy stone doesn't
They're
get
too
removed from
big,
here.
okay. They come along with the rice?
Yes.
Okay.
Because of gravity, then the stones will go.
Gravity is what is used there?
Yes, yes. And this is the whitener. Nigerian paddy, most especially, you see brown rice, the one that is brown, purely brown. When you put it in this machine, by the end of the process of this machine, you see every rice white.
What's the coloring process?
It's
What changes the color from brown to white?
There's an abrasive stone like that one we saw in the Oscar. There's a stone inside. That's friction.
Removes
The outer layer by friction.
So naturally the rice is white inside.
Yes.
It's the outside that is
Yes.
brown.
Yes.
Okay, and this friction process would
Now remove the outer layer.
it's like polishing.
Yes. The first time we ran the machine, see the quality of rice is excellent.
Yeah.
But we are worried. Bring the clean one. Bring your hand here. Bring your hand here. Bring your hand here. You see, it's not too different, but we couldn't put this in the market. We decided to hold it and put it in the next cycle. So you can see the quality of rice is excellent.
Yeah.
See. So all of what we produce is sold.
Very clean. Very clean.
After the tour, BOI Impact Crew spoke with Engineer Ugu and the Managing Director of BOI.
It was funded by the federal government under the special initiative on rice promotion to deal with issues of food security, to handle the crisis of unemployment, to engage the farmers, because they produce paddy, we use the paddy as our raw material. So in a way you integrate farming to industrial processing. The fund was provided by federal government through BOI. The value of the mill at cost is 1.56 billion naira, out of which BOI has provided 840 million. And the local investors plowed in the rest. The mill has been tested, it has been fully established, it has been tested, it has been run, and we produce an excellent quality rice. And we're very proud of it. The capacity is 42,000 tons of paddy per year, which means every day you run about 4 trailers, 4 30-ton trailers of paddy. That's the level, to give you an idea of it. Job creation, there are about 200 people working here directly as workers, and then about 4,000 farmers who will contribute paddy to keep the mill running. The quality is excellent. Nigeria produces good quality paddy, and we mill that. The paddy is current, that is in the year of production. It doesn't stay in the silo for 10 years, it doesn't stay for 3 years. We mill current paddy, and the paddy is produced within the locality. So the rice has very good aroma, is fresh, it is excellent in terms of the nutrients, vitamin content and all that.
I think there's a revolution that is going on in terms of rice production in Nigeria. Only last Thursday, BOI signed an MOU with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. And that MOU was centered on the development of 10 medium-sized mills with a capacity of 36,000 tons each, and 6 high-quality cassava mills. So a lot of things are happening, and it is hoped that at the end of the day, Nigeria will significantly reduce the amount of money that is currently spent importing processed food. As you guys know, that the expenditure on processed food has reduced significantly from $6.9 billion in 2009 to $4.3 billion currently. We believe that in the short term, and at most medium term, we should be in a position to not only eliminate food importation completely, but actually Nigeria can become a net exporter of food items. And this visit to Ndani, Enugu State today, is part of federal government's effort, to ensure that this is achieved. It's part of the transformation agenda of Mr. President to reduce our dependency on imports for food.
Once again, welcome back. We hope you enjoyed this week's program. Join us again next week as we bring you another interesting edition of BOI Impact, our platform for showcasing the laudable steps that are being taken by the Bank of Industry to fast-track the development of MSMEs in the country, as well as transforming Nigeria's industrial sector. It's on this note that we'll conclude this week's edition of the program. It's good evening and have an enterprising week. I am Hadiza Olaosebikan. Bye for now.